Hello! It's been a couple of weeks. I didn't even realize it had been a couple of weeks until I went to check back and figure out when the last time I made an update was. And it's been a couple of weeks. I am at home. I'm here for more days before Christmas than after because I'm scheduled for quite a few shows throughout the Christmas break. So, because it doesn't make sense for me to try and drive back and forth between the two cities, made the decision to just spend some time beforehand. So things are going okay. I maintain that I have not been taking medication and I've been feeling better. I've been working on the drinking situation, which has been getting better. And I'm trying to do some more new things that keep my brain occupied, my hands occupied, all the rest of that shit. Oh, also, yes, I know my hair looks stupid. I'm trying a new thing because I saw Marisha Ray do it on Critical Role, and I used to like to do my hair in two little buns, but I have bangs, and so it kind of looks a little dumb, but that's fine. I think I might grow them out. Anyway, yeah, things have been going okay. Work continues to be what it is, but I did just recently have my performance review, and I did a lot better than I was anticipating. The way that it works is we are given one of three categories, one that's like needs improvement, one that's average, which is what most people get and what you expect to get, and then exceptional. And exceptional is very rare. I got it last year because I had to basically learn a whole new job because my existing one at the time when the pandemic started basically became obsolete due to the pandemic because it was around organizing and scheduling travel. But this new role that my boss put me into, I had to learn all online. And I had done well because most of the people on the team, my colleagues, are pretty senior. And so, that made more sense to me. This year I got exceptional again. Which I was not expecting at all. And it's because, again, I've kind of maintained, I guess, my level of work, my success of work, keeping in line with the rest of my colleagues who've been at the workplace for a lot longer than I have, who have a lot more experience and expertise. So that feels really nice. Got a nice bonus out of it too. But yeah, I was not expecting that. I definitely thought I was going to get average. So that was kind of a nice welcome surprise. Still doing D&D. It's been a year now since I've taken up the helm. Maybe not quite. Did I take it on November or after? I don't know. Doesn't matter. At this point, it's crazy to think that I think I've been playing... No, we started playing D&D this time last year. So I started DMing in the spring. But we reached a point in the campaign which was quite fortuitous because we had been doing Waterdeep, Dragon Horde, Horde of the whatever, the Waterdeep one, fuck it. And the entire campaign takes place in this large city without really any exploration outside. And I know the guys didn't really want an urban setting when I first introduced it to them, but I thought it was going to be fun. But I was starting to get really bored of it, not super excited about the way that things were going to be going in the written adventure, the nude quests and stuff like that. And as we are moving on to the next chapter, the guys decided to withhold evidence from a crime scene, thinking that the guy who wanted to take it from them, rightfully so, because he's a guy who works for the city, thought that he was an asshole and questioned the idea that the guards that were there were actually guards. Chaos ensued, many guards were killed, and obviously they had to be apprehended. And the laws in the city of Waterdeep are that doing something like that is punishable by death. Obviously I'm not going to kill my players. As much as DMs get a rap for trying to kill their party, I don't really actually want to do that. So I used it as a great opportunity to have them exiled, thanks to some helpful connections that they had who could speak on their behalf at a trial that I pulled out of my ass, which I'm pretty pleased about. I'm feeling a lot better about my improvisational skills when it comes to not knowing how things will turn out. So, exiled them and started Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Guys, if you're watching this, go away. You're not supposed to know what campaign we're doing. I keep that a secret from them. Which I'm very excited about. So far reading through this, because I had this already, but I hadn't read through it, which maybe I should have done, but whatever. I'd watched reviews and stuff, people suggesting things, and the way that this is written is laid out in such a way that my brain functions. It does all the things that I wish that Waterdeep, the way that that one, or whoever wrote that one, it didn't do. And I'm just finding the intrigue and the quests that are set up here to be so interesting. And I think it allows for a lot of exploration in multiple moving parts, which I think the guys seem to like, while making it a little bit more clear what an overarching kind of task, storyline, whatever, would be. And it also allows us to kind of delve a little bit more into secrets and backstory that they otherwise wouldn't have had. So I'm not yet quite sure how that's going to play out in the future, but at least for now, I'm pretty excited. So we had to postpone D&D a few times this week, which really bums me out because I like to prepare and I prepare, which I probably shouldn't do. But I spent a lot of time preparing, setting things up, and then it seems to be that most of the time when we have to postpone, it's canceled at the last minute. So I think we need to set up like new ground rules or something after the new year starts. But we're doing D&D today. And I'm so ready. I even found supplemental stuff on DM's Guild, I believe, that help with the Icewind Dale region, optional side quests, extra encounters, things like that. PDFs that you can buy online, and I decided to send them into Staples to get printed and bound for me, double-sided, because although I do have a printer in my apartment, for whatever reason it wasn't printing these documents, but also it cuts out a lot of other stuff that I'd like to do, because even if it's not double-sided, I like to double-side my pages, which means a lot of tape. Anyway, so things are going okay. I'm nearly done my Christmas shopping. I only have my dad to get some things for, because he didn't give me any Christmas ideas until just today when I told him I had a bone to pick with him. Christmas should be nice and quiet. We've been really toning down and getting, I think, more aligned with how we want to do Christmas as a family. And then I'm back to the city on the 23rd for a show that my parents are going to come see. I am surprising them by, although I have comp tickets for them to use, upgrading them to VIP on their behalf without them knowing. So they're going to be able to sit right in the front, or close to. They're going to drive us back that night. I'll have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then I have to drive back myself on the 26th for a 4:30 show, and then other shows sprinkled throughout there until New Year's. I have my winter tires on, which feels good. I technically need to get them retorqued, which I haven't done, and I've definitely driven it for more than a week and for more than 100 kilometers, so I hope that's not a problem. And what else? Oh yeah, I had the thought to take up knitting again. You know, be creative. I spend a lot of time sitting around doing nothing, watching things. And that's great, but you're sitting idle for hours with nothing to show for it. So I learned how to knit from my grandma many years ago. I know how to do it. I don't have to look when I do it. And I decided, as like a nice Christmas gift, I'm going to try and knit my parents a nice large blanket because they just got a new cottage and it's up north. But of course, I left the knitting stuff in the city. So that kind of thwarted my plan. I was making decent headway, but even still, given the fact that I'm not going to be able to come back home after Christmas because of all the shows, that meant I would have been spending a lot of time hiding away in my room rather than spending time with my family, and I don't think they would have appreciated that. So this gives me more time to make it as big as I want. And it's gonna be really nice. It's like, I'm making it in little squares, multicolored, that I'm gonna then put all together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction when I give it to them, because they're not gonna know that I made it. They're gonna be very surprised, but it's not gonna be for Christmas. Either way. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that it's the 19th. Like, I didn't think November happened, but December really just didn't happen. But I think things are getting more on the up and up, which feels good. And yeah, just working on self-care. I told my Medieval Times boss that I have to step back from doing the Herald role because 5, almost 6 months of working 7 days a week with no days off. Even if Medieval Times doesn't feel like much of a job, like I think I mentioned, the Herald role, even though it's not hard, it feels like more work because it's not the fun stuff. Even though I do not do anything for most of the show, it just isn't fun. And I deal with more of the customer service facing individuals when I work in that role, and everyone gets so frustrated so easily, which you can understand why, because we're working at a unique workplace in the middle of a pandemic where people have high expectations and don't follow rules. So people are frustrated, and that takes a toll. So thankfully, he's the most understanding person ever. I'm very lucky to have him as my boss. He totally gets it. He was appreciative of the fact that I was able to help him out, but he gets it, and luckily there's more people who can do the role as well at this point, so it's not as though I'm leaving him high and dry. But I just wish, I don't know. I don't even know what I would wish, but whatever. And yeah, I am just trying to immerse myself in fantasy stuff that brings me joy, because I know it always brings me joy. D&D is one of those things, especially since I'm moving into a new campaign. It allows for a lot more expansion than I think the city stuff did. And so it's bringing me a lot of excitement to think about what things I can put in place. And yeah, this is the longest I've talked for a long time on one of these. Sorry. But yeah, I want to know what you guys are up to for Christmas. Are you able to do anything? Are you able to spend time with people? I know that with us here in Canada, with this Omicron thing, I have been ignoring the news, so it's not as though I really know much about what's going on, but I just know that with the cases going up and all that bullshit, it's potentially gonna throw people's Christmas plans in a wrench again, because they didn't really say anything about, you know, restrictions and whatnot, but it's gonna be on everyone's individual conscience what they want to do. But I would love to know what you guys are up to. I miss all those Christmas traditions. I have my dad's second cousin. I don't know what that is to me. Family relation trees. I don't know. It lives in Scotland. It's my dad's half of the family is from Scotland. And every now and then he'll send me like little things on Facebook. It's very cute. Pictures of him and his family and his kids and stuff that they're up to. He's a very sweet man. But he sent me pictures of garland. And I was like, oh, garland is amazing. It's my favorite type of Christmas decoration. I like the classic looks. I'm an old soul. And he was telling me how they make them. They harvest the stuff from around their place, and you know, he was taught by a family member and now he's teaching his kids, and you know, it makes me think I want to do all those old school traditional things, but for whatever reason I just feel like my family isn't necessarily super into that. I want to be that person when I'm older that goes all out and does like decorations from scratch and super rustic, old school. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, what do you celebrate? What plans do you have? How do you engage in this holiday season, whatever that might look like? Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, just trying to keep my head, trying to engage in some self-care and give myself stupid hair buns, like bunny ears almost. All right, well, I'm going to shut this down now because I've been talking for an entirely too long of a length of time. But yeah, I will hopefully check in sooner than a couple weeks the next time. And I'm thinking that I'm going to try and get back into making properly filmed and edited videos, just for my own sake. I'd like to be able to talk about my experiences with D&D so far, some of the movies and TV shows that I've seen recently that I really like, just kind of as a homage to stuff that I love, which is, you know, TV and movies and whatnot. Other things that I like, I don't know, if you have any suggestions of things that you'd like to hear me talk about or showcase or anything, please let me know, because I'd like it to be not just talking about my life. I want to build something again. These have mostly only just been me talking about my life, but obviously little things thrown in here and there. And I'd like to get those creative juices flowing again, and I think they're beginning to come back, but I need some help. So, if I don't chat with you before Christmas, which I kind of doubt that I will, I hope you have a lovely holiday, whatever that might be for you. I hope you and yours are well. I wish you nothing but the best. Love and light, happiness, all that jazz, and take care of yourself. I will see you soon.